Best for chocolate box villages and countryside ambles. Where to stay, for those seeking the great outdoors, but also a bit of pampering, a cabin at Soho Farmhouse is the pinnacle of city to country luxury, and the hunter wellies provided for guests will make sure you look the part too. Barnsley House in the impossibly pretty village of Barnsley also provides the setting for a dreamy countryside retreat. Nab one of the luxurious garden suites if you can. Where to eat, the Lords of the Manor Hotel, located in the quaint Slaughters, an oxymoron if ever there was one, serves Michelin star food in postcard-perfect surroundings. If a cozy pub is more up your street, the Swan Inn at Swinbrook and the Falkland Arms in Great Kew are both well worth a visit for a hearty meal beside a roaring fire. If you only do one thing, weather willing, take a picturesque ramble from Upper to Lower Slaughter, or vice versa, along the banks of the River Eye. If the weather isn't on your side, the villages of Burford and Bourton on the Water both have ample shops. The Old Sweet Shop in Burford is a must-see, 2 rooms, and pubs to keep you occupied. Alamy best for glorious scenery and vintage interiors shopping. Where to stay, spending a night at Hodgkinson's Hotel in the pretty town of Matlock is like stepping back in time to the Victorian era. Best of all, it's just a stone's throw from the town's numerous antique and vintage furniture shops. Where to eat, the Inn at the Devonshire Arms in Beeley. Dining in this cozy, 18th-century inn, kept in its original wood-beamed style, is a treat, and the Sunday roasts are without compare. If you only do one thing, visit the Chi-Chi Farm Shop at Chatsworth House, and bask in the glory of the stately home and its grounds, to take a flavor of the Peaks home. There's a reason it's been voted the best farm shop in the country. Alamy best for woodland walks and nature spotting. Where to stay, Chewton Glen, a beautiful country house hotel with spectacular views over the forest, particularly from its height of luxury treehouse bedrooms. The Indulgent Spa is also an ideal spot to rejuvenate after a day's walking. Where to eat, Angela Hartnett and Luke Holder head up the team at HH. With an Italian-inspired menu and pretty conservatory setting, it's easy to while away many a lunch or dinner here. If you only do one thing, pony hacking is the most interesting way to see the forest. Buckenhurst riding stables offer experiences for adults and children of all ability levels. If you're looking for a rainy day activity, Ringwood Brewery offers an interesting and insightful tour and generous samples. Alamy best for a small-scale city and spa break in beautiful architecture. Where to stay, number 15 Great Pulteney is a sophisticated boutique hotel on one of the city's most charming streets, and only a short walk from the sights you'll want to see. The exterior may be of the classic Honeystone Georgian townhouse ilk that Bath is famous for, but the whimsical interiors give it an intriguing edge. Where to eat, the Olive Tree, found in the basement of the Queensbury Hotel, is a favorite with locals and visitors alike thanks to its seasonal menus of British cuisine and the relaxed, elegant fine dining atmosphere. If you only do one thing, you can't visit the city without stopping by the famous Thermy Bath Spa to experience the hot, mineral-rich spring waters just as the Celts and Romans did 2,000 years ago. Alamy best for a gastro mini break with a difference. Where to stay, the Tudor Farmhouse in the quaint village of Clearwell is a 13th-century converted farmhouse turned hotel with an incredible restaurant to boot. Be sure to stay in the original building, where the roost rooms are tucked up in the eaves complete with exposed beams. Where to eat, the Bell at Skenfrith, just a few miles away over the Welsh border, is located on the banks of the River Manor. But it's not just about the views, the food at this country pub is something to write home about. If you only do one thing, visit Puzzlewood, an eerie forest just 5 minutes from the hotel. If you feel like you've been to this spooky gnarled wood before, perhaps it's because it was a location for a couple of the Star Wars films, so Instagram until your heart's content. Alamy best for city culture, dreaming spires and riverside walks. Where to stay? The Wisteria-entwined 17th-century-old parsonage hotel is located in the heart of the historic city, a stone's throw from the university, shops and copious pubs and restaurants. Where to eat? The Cherwell Boathouse, for seasonal delicacies, riverside views and perhaps some punting if the urge takes you. Alternatively, the buzzing Cowley Road in the east of the city boasts an exotic array of bars and restaurants, from Italian pizzerias to Moroccan tapas bars. If you only do one thing, stroll through the picturesque university parks into the city centre, taking in famous sites like the Radcliffe Camera, Bodleian Library and Sheldonian Theatre, before a spot of shopping in the historic Covered Market. Alamy best for an old-school beach break. Where to stay? Drake's Hotel is comprised of two beautiful Georgian townhouses set along the seafront and within easy walking distance of the Royal Pavilion, the Lanes, and Brighton Pier. The unique Art Deco rooms are a highlight. Book one with a sea view and freestanding bathtub. Where to eat? It wouldn't be a proper British beach break without fish. The Flower Pot Bakery is also on the must-try list, serving specialist teas, great coffee and tantalizing artisan baked goods fresh from the oven. If you only do one thing, be beside the seaside, of course. A stroll along the pier, ice cream in hand, makes for an idyllic day. Follow it up with a shopping trip in the Lanes, the town's maze of alleyways in the historic quarter. Alamy best for coastal and marsh walks. Where to stay? Shepherd House, a beautifully decorated B. It's family-run and an ideal place to hire with all your friends for a stylish weekend away. Try one of the suites for real luxury. Where to eat? Book a long lunch well in advance at the Sportsman in Sea Salter, a gastropub with a Michelin star, run by Chef Stephen Harris and his wife. Make sure you try the poached oysters with pickled cucumber and Abruga caviar. If you only do one thing, go for an evening walk along the beach at Whitstable, stop for a pint in the famous pub, the Neptune, and then have a romantic shellfish dinner at the Whitstable Oyster Fishery Company. Alamy best for Cornish cream teas and coastal views. Where to stay? As a popular tourist destination, you need to know how to escape the crowds that flock to Cornwall the second that the sun comes out. The Idle Rocks at St. Mawes provides a tranquil hideaway in the midst of the Roseland Peninsula, with beautiful interiors and impressive ocean views from its terraces. Where to eat? The working fishing port of Padstow is a must-visit for foodies, and for good reason. It's the setting of Rick Stein's flagship seafood restaurant, where the fish is the freshest you can find and served up in simple, classic dishes, and also Paul Ainsworth at number 6, serving Michelin-starred food, with a focus on local produce, in a beautiful Georgian townhouse. If you only do one thing, sample the local delicacies that the region is famous for: pasties, fudge, ice cream, and scones with clotted cream and jam. Alamy best for breathtaking beaches and medieval ruins. Where to stay? Ferry Hill is an 18th-century home converted into an exquisitely furnished hotel, boasting a locally sourced menu that rivals few in the whole of Wales. Where to eat? Wright's Food Emporium, run by restaurateur, broadcaster and writer Simon Wright. Stop by the delicatessen to pick up a bottle of their own delicious take on ketchup, catsup. If you only do one thing, take an afternoon walk from Rosealy to Worm's Head, but check the tide before braving the climb across the Atlantic current is quicker than you think. Alamy best for a city break shopping trip. Where to stay? One Devonshire Gardens is based in the city's bohemian West End, a short walk from the historic Glasgow University campus and Botanic Gardens. 5 Victorian townhouses form a warren of beautiful old bedrooms, as well as a bistro, bar, cigar shack and whiskey room. Where to eat? The city's recently rejuvenated Finniston area has a wealth of restaurants to choose from the Gannet, Porter. If you only do one thing, shop at 18 Montrose. The concept store boasts men's and women's collections with pieces from brands including Rick Owens, Yeezy and Common Projects, as well as hosting exhibitions in collaboration with the hallowed Glasgow School of Art. Alamy best for the most awe-inspiring scenery. Where to stay? The Craigalachie Hotel is a home from home, deep in the Highlands. Expect the warmest of welcomes and excellent attention to detail, from its charmingly decorated bedrooms to the array of spa treatments on offer. Canine companions are also allowed, if you want to bring your dog along for those long country walks. Where to eat? For roaring fires, hand-picked wines, and live local music at the weekend, head down to the Copper Dog Pub. What's more, the produce is sourced directly from their doorstep, from organic Aberdeen Angus beef and fresh fish from the Moray Firth, to Walker's shortbread. If you only do one thing, put on your walking shoes and soak up some of the most majestic scenery in Britain, from the region's quintessential lochs to dramatic mountain ranges and stretches of wild coastline. No, it's not about getting that perfect Instagram picture, but, incidentally, jaw-droppingly photogenic spots include the miles of white sand of Lossiemouth Beach, Dunvegan Castle and the famous Fort William. If you're looking to let loose, there are ample distilleries where we recommend trying the locally made spirits. Alamy best for walks along the Jurassic coastline. Where to stay? The Bull, Bridport, an 1850s coaching-turned boutique hotel with its own secret cocktail bar. Interior amalgamates contemporary prints with vintage pieces, with a relaxed, elegant vibe. Where to eat? Go to Hicks Oyster and Fish Bar, in Lyme Regis, for the panoramic views. Opt for the terrace as soon as the temperature is mild enough to allow, and the renowned scallops. If you only do one thing, have a drink in a local favorite, like the Bull Hotel's Venner Bar. We recommend a Dirty Cow Martini, made with milk vodka. The whey from the milk is fermented, distilled, and filtered, to make creamy vodka with a kick. Alamy.